Good evening. You're watching the Cheese Room podcast live, coming at you from the man cave. And it is a tremendous day today because we started the run sheet. When we wrote the run sheet for this show, Harry Kane was level with some other chap. Now he's level with Gary Lineker. He's closing in on Wayne Rooney, but has just been subbed. So thankfully, he's hopefully restored his goal-scoring mojo and will be restored to the Spurs starting lineup soon. Dave, all the way from the UK. How was your flight, sir? Good to have you here.
Lovely to be in the UK for the first time. And the last time I was in the UK, we just qualified for the semi-finals of the Champions League. Eriksen scored a last-minute goal against Brighton. What could possibly go wrong?
Has it changed much since then, or?
There's a lot more forms to fill out and more COVID tests to take than last time.
Well, this is actually my last show for 3 shows because Friday work's getting in the way, and then next week I'm actually in Dubai. So unfortunately, you're going to have to put up with Shan leading the show, but I'm sure you chaps will keep her in check. Speaking of keeping someone in check, here is John. How are you, John?
All right, mate. Yeah.
HG's favourite bit of eye candy. You feeling good today?
Yes. I've had to move into the living room. Had a few electrical issues in the garage, so change of studio this evening. Here I am.
It says on my run sheet you've got the most mobile eyebrows in the world. Is this true? Oh yeah.
Look at that. It's like Groucho Marx.
Roger Moore, you see. Big hero.
Roger Moore's your hero.
Well, not my hero, but a big hero.
They're like windscreen wipers. Do them again.
Well, look
at that.
We were supposed to have Shannon joining us this evening, but she's poorly again, and needs some vitamin C in her, I think. And Mr. Diver Steve, he's poorly. He's apparently holding onto the toilet bowl for dear life right now. So there's an image you don't want to think about. So I'm afraid it's just the 3 of us tonight, but we've got plenty of stuff to get through, plenty of good stuff to get through. We've got all your comments and questions. Do drop them into the chat. Send us a super chat. Let us know you're here. Do pick up a channel membership. Kerry has picked up a channel membership today. Well, congratulations. Welcome on the Cheese Room bus, Kerry. And absolutely, we'll get to all your points during the show with these 2 wonderful panelists. We're going to look at transfer news, full of excitement that. Highlights from the internationals. Well, now Kane's gone off, it's 7-0. You don't really need to watch the rest of that. Just tune into the Cheese Room. We're going to talk about where teams are going to finish this season, who's our hot tips for all the titles, and who's going to get relegated. And how annoying it is that Australia won the T20 World Cup. No one likes them, let's face it. Not even Dave, and he lives in Australia. So let's kick off. Transfers. Michael Bridges, big Spurs fan from Sky Sports News, top bloke, says Spurs should go get Donny van der Beek. What do we think of that, Dave? Donny van der Beek, would he be good in a Spurs shirt?
I think it's good. He's a bit of, he's not done it at United, and it was a very curious signing. It feels like a Woodward signing, and Solskjaer knew nothing about it. And I would point us all back to that miracle night in Amsterdam. The fact is, we were 3-0 up, and we were 3-0 down, and Moura got his hat trick. And Van der Beek, where was he to stop the tide in terms of what he was going to do? So I don't think it's a good idea that we get him in. I think, unfortunately, as far as the Premier League is concerned, he's a busted flush. He'll end up going to Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
What's your views, John? I mean, Donny van der Beek, he's only really done it at Ajax. United bought him off the strength of that, but then he's not played. It's a bit of a strange one. Where would he fit in at Tottenham? I mean, where does he fit?
Well, he's obviously a central midfielder, isn't he? But I'm not sure he'll fit into a Conte team at all. He had a really good game against us at the Lane, didn't he, in the first leg of the semi-final? But then, particularly in the second half of that away leg, we just didn't allow him or De Jong time to sit on the ball. And I think, would he get time in the Premier League? Because in the Dutch league, you're going to get some time, aren't you? I'm not sure he would. It would really depend on if Conte could find a position for him that we could play to his strengths. And I'm not convinced he would.
I just don't see where he fits, really, to be honest. I mean, he's a great player. There's no doubt about it. I think, he's performed well for Ajax consistently. But why is it about Ollie that doesn't want to play him, Dave? I mean, I know you say you think it was maybe a chairman's signing, but, what's the crack? And would he fit into Conte's system?
I mean, it's pretty weird, really, because, you've got Fred and you've got McTominay there, and Fred's not exactly pulling up trees.
Fred.
Yeah. I mean, Van der Beek is kind of maybe a little bit of a hybrid. He could help to screen in front of the defence, but he can pass the ball. So he's kind of like that kind of number 8 where he's like the halfway house. So he, I just think they paid 40 million quid for him. Yeah, he's looked. What's happening?
Goal.
Oh, yeah. England.
8-0.
Well, not San Marino.
Well, I didn't realize San Marino had some odd % off as well. Looking at it.
Yeah.
Who scored?
I'll just tell you a minute.
Van der Beek.
Mings, wasn't it? Mings
scored a header.
So yeah, you get 2 for 1 tonight. You get England watch along and the cheese room.
So if I was doing the watch fun, is it this point that I'm meant to get excited and be animated?
Yes. Could you show us your animated face?
That's usual.
It's 8-0.
It's 8-0. Yeah.
What's that take our goal difference to in the group?
Lots. I've just seen Kerry said at least we know Kane won't get injured. Yeah.
On the way home, he will.
Yeah.
On the plane, his ankle will go.
While we're on the subject, while we're just going off, John's led us beautifully to a tangent, and we will come back to transfers in a minute. But Harry Kane, 4 goals tonight, 3 goals against, who was it?
Andorra, wasn't it?
Andorra or something.
Albania.
There you
My
go.
apologies.
I'm not disrespecting Albania, great footballing nation, but 3 goals against Albania. I'm going to say it again. He's a flat trap bully, isn't he, Dave?
Yeah, he is. I mean, go through. Yeah, but the thing is this: go through all the goals he's got, but he does have to do these ridiculous qualifying groups. In the Euros and the World Cup, it's easy. I mean, everyone picks up all their goals along that way. I think Peter Crouch's record for England looks really good because he didn't get a load of goals against Trinidad and Tobago or something like that. So that's what it is. In the qualifiers, you get to play a lot of easy teams. It's a complete waste of time. And then you get people saying that Joe Rodon's looking really good against Belarus, who's ranked lower than Luxembourg. So all good for Harry. I hope he gets his record because we know that individual goals for him. Was that another goal?
9. Abraham. Conor Gallagher just hit the post from about 5 yards, and Abraham's now knocked it.
So it's 9-0.
9-0.
Yeah.
So what does that take the goal difference to now?
Oh no, it's Bellingham. Sorry, it was Bellingham.
Oh, Bellingham. Yeah, lots.
Yeah. Lots. That's the technical term, Dave.
Even more than just before.
I'm sure someone in the chat. I'm sure someone in the chat will drop it in.
So is he a flat trap bully? Yeah, he is.
Plus 35.
Plus 35.
Yeah, 38 goals scored. Made some of the top scorers in Europe.
Fantastic.
But you need flat trap bullies. There's nothing wrong with being a flat trap bully, but he does go missing in finals, doesn't he?
Well, hang on. Are you? But that's you're putting out the Bale argument there, aren't you? Because there's so many people in the Patreon chat and on here who go with Bale was treated badly by Mourinho.
He was.
Bale, look how many goals Bale got last year. What did he get? 12 goals.
He got loads.
And then
he got 11 league goals.
Yeah, wasn't it up to the Leicester game? He hadn't scored a goal against anyone above 12th place. And then he scored 2 goals in the final.
Oh no, West Ham. No, that wasn't. No, he hit the bar, didn't he? Hit the bar.
He hit the bar. So the Leicester game, he came on as a sub, didn't he? Or did he start? He
came on as a sub.
Came on as a sub against a team that was chasing the game, that needed to win to get Champions League qualification. That got gung-ho to get the goals, and he got 2 goals. And it made his numbers...
No, 8-0, goal rolled out. VAR.
Rolled out or ruled out?
Rolled out.
Yeah.
Ruled out. Oh dear.
Rolled out the barrel. Anyway, Bale was a flat track bully last year, and I don't want him back.
I think, Dave, that's partially, and I do take your point very much so. I think a big part of that is because of Mourinho, because of the style of play. He needs to play a bit more possession football. He was just too far away from the goal. When he had a chance, he took a lot of very good chances and scored. Some of the goals he scored were excellent, weren't they?
Finishing, his ball striking is incredible.
Yeah, and his movement as well is very good. So there is an argument under Conte, he would have more chances in front of the goal, and probably he could score 20 league goals. And we're all moaning that we've only got 2 goals for us.
Where was he when he came on the Zagreb second leg when we needed to get goals?
He ended up playing central midfield, trying to pass the ball because the rest of the team were useless. Central midfield.
Yeah. Where was he against the Gooners at the Emirates?
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, that was Mourinho. He set up the team badly, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, look, the reality. I'm jet lagged, right?
I do take your point, Dave. That he doesn't convince me.
I don't want him to come back. Okay, I don't want Eriksen to come back. We all were just chasing yesterday. So I was really excited with Bale. When we signed Bale last year, Son, Kane, Bale up top. Brilliant, yeah? We're going to get a third attacker who can score goals, unlike Bergwijn and Moura, right? I was excited. But it didn't work out. He didn't get himself fit enough. And as far as I'm concerned, flat track bully, don't want him back. And the same, unfortunately, goes for Eriksen as well, okay? Is there anyone else, any other ex-Spurs players?
I mean, that's a fair point, isn't it? Where was the whole team in that Arsenal game? It's absolutely true, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about getting the whole team back because they're still at the club or we sold them. So but
my point is, it wasn't Bale's fault we lost that game. Come on.
But we're talking about the question is, do we get Bale back? The rest of them we've either got rid of or they're on our books.
Answer is yes. You've got to get Bale back. He's world class player.
He was world class, not anymore.
One last hurrah. Here we go. Look, Kerry's got it. Cheer up, Davo.
I'm very happy. I'm seeing my mum and my brother first time over 2.5 years. Kerry.
This is as happy as you get.
I've got these are my 50th birthday presents from friends. Got the training top. Don't know what I'm going to use that for. And the retro top from my mates. I'm Kerry. I'm happy. Just don't want Bale back.
Jason's with me. I definitely want Bale back. Would still do a job. Yeah, exactly. And Phil raises a very good point as well. We don't hold it against Son for not turning up in that Arsenal game.
He got injured. He got injured after about 10 minutes, and Lamela came on for him.
Even so,
he pulled his hamstring. So you can't blame Son in that game.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
There are games when he gets injured, when he doesn't turn up. I mean,
it's just the problem when you're dealing with knowledgeable people. You lose arguments quite quickly, quite easily, don't you? Okay. So yes, so we've decided Kane is a flat track bully. That's fine.
Yeah, he is.
Good. You got a view?
At the moment, he's a flat track bully. Now, hopefully, he might start turning up again. Now he seems to love Conte.
He's got
time will tell,
and he's got Conte. Time will tell.
Does he love Conte?
He's sort of said that, hasn't he? Yeah.
How did that appear that he loves him?
He's quoted as saying to his England teammates, I can't remember the exact quote. We can find it during the course of the game, but yeah, he's quoted as sort of basically saying, "Oh, it's exciting. We've got Conte. He's a winner. I'm a winner."
Didn't he say it to his Euro teammates that he was off to Manchester?
Well, clearly.
Well, anyway, he's going, Kane. I've got it on very good authority. You know that.
Well, I know that's your view, but
no, I have got it. Do you want to see my authority that he's going?
Yeah, show me.
Oh, here we go. It's the 2022 calendar, right? Who's January?
Who is January, Dave?
January, you probably can't see it, is Kane. Kane is January.
Who else is going? Who else is leaving?
February is Lloris.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
March is Dyer.
I'd be happy with that.
He's not going. No one's buying Dyer.
No. April's Moura. Dele is May. And Davison Sanchez is June.
Yeah.
And Lo Celso's July. So my theory is the players for next season, you obviously go August onwards. You've got Reguilon.
Yeah.
You got Shannon's boyfriend.
9-0 now.
9-0.
Abraham scored.
Twice.
No, once.
No, he really did score this time.
Keely is October. Heung-min Song, who signed a big contract, November. Not going anywhere. Romero, lots of cash, big contract.
Good player.
December. So
it's a good goal, that.
The calendar has spoken.
And
they're in the first half of the year, it means they're off.
So wait, Harry Winks isn't on the calendar.
He's not even on the calendar.
He doesn't even make it to the calendar, Harry Winks. He doesn't even get a look in on the calendar.
No.
Like, he probably turned up to the photo shoot, a bit like Peter Odemwingie on transfer deadline day. There's absolutely no way.
Bergwijn's not on there either, so he'd have been at the photo shoot getting ready for this. Am I Mr. May or something, or whatever he does, and he didn't make it.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for those two either.
The
calendar never lies.
Is Ben Davies on it, Dave?
Yeah, he's represented as the hook at the top like that.
Is Road on there?
Paul Muir's got his own 2022. Every month is Joe Rodon in Paul Muir's calendar.
Right, let's talk sensibly.
10.
10 now, is it? 10?
Saka's just scored a header from a yard.
Yeah. Right, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Vlahovic, apparently, the Daily Express are reporting that he's on his way to Spurs for a club record fee. Importantly, they're sort of tipping him for January, but covering all bases by saying the end of season is likely as well. What do you think of that voice of optimism, Dave? The fee would mean Daniel Levy parting with £70 million.
So let me get this right. The Daily Express has said he could come in January. He could come at the end of the season, or he might not come at all.
They didn't mention that possibility.
Well, who's going to rival us for Vlahovic? Would be City, because they do need a striker. But maybe Mr. January will cover off Vlahovic's fee, at least 70 mil. So he's look, he had a good season last year. Last year was his breakout season in Serie A, and he's doing well this season. He's in the goals this season as well. So it would be good if we got him. I'd love to get him in January. We need a striker in January badly.
What I love about this, thanks Ishak, is we've put together a package. Daniel Levy has put together a package worth 75 million to sign Fiorentina striker Vlahovic in January. What do you think that package consists of, Dave?
It consists of 3 weeks holiday at Joe Lewis's country club estate, plus breakfast and kids club added in. That's for sure. And if he gets over 50 goals in a week, Tottenham have to pay Fiorentina £20 million. That's the package.
Every time he does it.
Yeah, and he has to do a handstand every morning, and then Fiorentina get more money.
I'll tell you what, that's a great package. Oh, we've got the Kane quote. Mr. Muir's come through for us. It shows great ambition, to be honest. To be honest, Kane told the Standard. His resume speaks for itself. Everyone knows how highly thought of he is and what he has done as a manager. You have to respect that. Just like you have to respect contracts, Harry. Just like you have to respect contracts.
But is it resume or CV? Harry should have said CV or resume? Which one?
I'm betting if it's Harry Kane, he probably said CV and they've sexed it up a little bit.
Which means that really is the quote true, Well, if he'd have said CV, I'd have believed that more than resume.
Well, look, other bit of scepticism here. Vlahovic has flop written all over him. Dave, you seen much of Mr. Vlahovic?
Only on the YouTube clips when we talked about him in July, August. That's the extensive research I did on him. But, when we've paid top dollar for strikers over the years, it's been well worth it. Soldado,
Llorente, Janssen.
We're going back. John will remember this. Going back in the day, we spent a lot of money on Alan Brazil. We did well for half a season, and the next season he was awful.
I was about 6. I was about 6 when we signed him, so no, I don't remember.
I was about
don't try and like sneak your way into John's camp just because you know.
I'm not in John.
You remember sitting in the West Stand.
In the old when I was sitting in the old West Stand, when it had wooden floors and you stamp on the wooden floor when it's a corner, waving the rattle, and I was in black and white, and the king was there. He wasn't.
You really are old, aren't you?
Well, I just turned 50.
No, but it seems like you need to be a lot older to remember that stuff.
Well, I can't
Dave,
remember.
Like you're around in 1912 or something.
Yeah.
Dave, were you at the 5-0 when we beat Arsenal 5-0 and Brazil scored? You were?
Yeah. Did he score? Yeah, he got 2.
He did. No, he got 1.
Okay,
Falco got 2. Chris Hughton got 2.
And what about Falco's volley, eh?
Both his goals were brilliant, but he scored a right foot volley and a left foot, didn't he?
And who
but
played?
The right foot was amazing.
Who played in midfield that day?
Archibald.
Very good. And who was in goal for the Gooners?
Oh, George Wood or someone.
Very good.
Some terrible kid. Yeah.
See, one way or the other, Dave is getting his 1980s show. Vlahovic, John, do you know much about Vlahovic?
No, YouTube. That's my and stats lookups. That's literally my limit. But he does look like he can hold the ball up. He's got skill. He doesn't look like the fastest, a bit like Kane, but he's got a bit of a turn of pace, and he's scored different sorts of goals, which is a good sign. And
he's only got 1 foot though.
Yeah, he's definitely very left-footed.
He's very left-footed.
But then he's doing it in Italy, whereas Janssen was doing it in the Dutch league, wasn't he? Yes.
Serious question, though. Serious question. Can either of you see us spending £70 million or euros in January?
We're not going to spend it in January. It was spread over 6 years or 5 years.
Do you really think we're going to do that deal in January?
Maybe it's a down payment for Kane, unless Romero was a down payment for Kane.
Because this is the rumour. This is all over the Twitter sphere. I see a new one every day. You know, I mean, call me skeptical. Oh, I like the wall ball. Nice bit of merch there. I see a new one every day. You know, he's already signed for Spurs. They're just waiting to announce it. All of this. I just don't believe it. Do you?
Wouldn't it be nice if we actually signed someone January the 1st? So we got an extra month out. Wouldn't that be lovely? Eh? We'd never do that. So let's get him in. If we got a striker in and a midfield player in, I'd be happy. Then we got a chance at top 4. If we don't,
that's his war chest gone then, isn't it?
Yeah, but then
talking about this imaginary war chest then.
The war chest.
Kane's not going anywhere.
He's going in the summer. He'll be going in the summer.
He's not going.
He's on his way.
Conte's reviving him. It's happening.
Listen, I'm genuinely very excited about Conte coming in. It's a great appointment. Wish we'd done it summer. But if you think he is going to sprinkle fairy dust over a lot of shit players, then honestly, you're naive. A lot of people on here are saying, a lot of people naive, not naive. You're very naive.
From the halfway line.
Yeah. If a lot of people thinking look, Conte, we all know that he turned Victor Moses into a great wing back for one season, right?
We're expecting him to turn Lucas Moura into a wing back, right?
I mean, I reckon if you looked at all the shit players that we've got, who do you think he's really going to turn around? We've got a lot of crap.
Well, there's a few I think you'll get more out of, Dave. I mean,
such as
Tongi and Dele.
Oh, Tongi and Dele. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom collar.
Giovanni Lo Celso.
He looks good playing for Argentina next to Messi, so we should cling on to that for another 2 years. Yeah. Who else?
Just saying that you asked me who's going to look better under him. I've just given you 2 names. Okay. There you go. Born to Lose is feeling similarly optimistic. Can't wait for that fax paper to jam up. You can imagine Daniel Levy still does use a fax machine, actually.
He's using a telex.
Do you remember the time when we were trying to sell Moutinho and he ended up on a plane and we couldn't do the deal because they were quibbling over like $500,000 or something out of 30 odd?
Sounds like...
Was he on the plane? I thought it was...
They had in the game to fly to or something. And in the end, Spurs,
I thought the story was they'd done the deal, and at the last minute they'd mysteriously discovered third-party ownership rights that they had to sort
that
out.
one.
But imagine if Daniel or Joe didn't do the due diligence on the FX trades and the property development at the last minute. It's just weird. It didn't happen. I don't understand. Or the other one. Do you remember the Charlie Adam one?
Yeah, I do. Actually.
Remember what happened when we couldn't sign him?
We talked about it the other night, but I can't remember exactly.
Oh, that's because I put it in the run sheet, didn't I? But I'll say it again because I'm,
go on.
myself.
I think the comment we made at the time, Dave, was it's almost like Dave has put these in the run sheet to highlight Enix's, shortfalls.
And Mike, was I trying to fit my narrative again? Cool.
Maybe just a little bit.
I can't understand why that happens. Why? Yeah, that's right. They couldn't find a director. They had to have all the Blackpool directors sign off that he could go. So they didn't find one, and didn't go.
Yeah, but they've admitted they deliberately didn't find them.
Really?
Yeah, I remember Charlie Adam talking about it.
And then he made merry on Gareth Bale's ankles.
I mean, he was crap anyway. He was crap anyway. But anyway, Kerry King, Dele could be revived under Conte. Now, this is interesting. This caused a lot of emotion in the cheese room the other night. So, but I'm very interested in your say, Dave. John, you were here anyway. Dave, Dele, what are your thoughts? You were probably actually over the Atlantic or over India or something at the time we were discussing this.
Why would I be over the Atlantic? I flew from Sydney to Dubai.
The Indian Ocean. There you go.
Dubai to London.
It's a
bit like this Aussie family I sat next to on the plane on the first flight to Dubai, and I was chatting to them. I said, where are you going? They're going, we're going to go and see. 12 hours.
You get on a plane, and Dave's.
I was wearing this as well on the plane.
Sat there like that. And he's like, all right. Life shit, isn't it?
I was wearing this on the plane as well, right? And so they said they're going to see their sister. They hadn't seen her because of lockdown and all that. I said, oh, lovely, great. And where does your sister live? They said, London. I said, that's great, lovely. Where in London do they live? They said, Hastings. I said, Hastings? That's in Sussex. You should have gone to bloody Gatwick, not Heathrow. Didn't talk to me the rest of the flight. Don't know why.
I mean,
what was the question? Dele? Are we back on Dele again?
Well, I wanted your take on it. Do you think he can be revived?
Well, if we play 3-5-2, playing 2 up top, and he doesn't have to worry anything about defensive duties, he's got a chance. Other than that, no, he's not a midfield player. I'd get him to Newcastle. That's my solution for everything tonight. Send him to Newcastle. We'll get 20 million, 30 million at Newcastle. Eddie Howe. I love the Geordies, don't you? Like all excited before our game. Ant and Deck dancing, singing around. If you just said to all those Geordies, who's your next manager going to be? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Conte? Is it going to be? Who are you going to get? Are you going to get what's his face back? Benitez? No, it's Eddie Howe. Love the Geordies. Anyway, Dele. We're all sentimental about Dele. We've all seen him. We've probably seen his peak, unfortunately. It's just not the game's developed. He's not developed with it. And unfortunately, if an offer came in, get rid of him. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Quite enjoy that.
Born to Lose is called it at the bottom there.
Yeah. Probably is only a matter of time. To be fair.
Yep.
I think that's fantastic. That's the best comment of the night. Is there any other member of the squad that we put on Strictly? I think Matt. You can imagine Matt Doherty going on it and being out first round. He trips up his partner and breaks their leg. Or Sanchez.
Reggie would be good. I reckon Reggie would be near the final.
Reggie would absolutely have some moves.
Reggie do it. He'd be good.
Right. As about this then, I mean, talking about fitting a narrative. City back in for Kane. That has been all over the press, in fairness, Dave.
Yeah.
John, what's your thoughts? I mean, I know Dave's thoughts. I don't need to ask them, really. What's your thoughts? Are City coming back in for Harold?
They might do, but will they offer the money? Will they offer the 100 million that we might accept this summer? In all honesty, I'm not sure they will. They went, 75 plus 25 last year, wasn't it?
Would you accept 100 mil?
Depends if we signed Vlahovic or another top striker, I guess. given how poor he's been this year. Now, if he starts scoring goals in the next 5-6 games, then I might change my mind. But he's been poor,
goals
hasn't he?
tonight. He's been scoring
Doesn't
goals
count.
all week.
Scored 4.
Doesn't count. For Spurs in the Premier League, not in the Conference League against Mura or whoever. Yeah, Marine FA Cup. Yeah. But yeah, that's I think the way we'll see how he is up to Christmas in the Premier League, as long as he's fit.
Okay, interesting. Dave, you're presumably saying sell him.
Yeah, 100 million. Get him. Get Vlahovic. What was it 70 million? And then a kind of your Janssen Llorente-esque 30 million as a backup. That'll do.
Yeah. Holly's called it. The upturn in Kane's form is down to no mayonnaise and ketchup. Clearly, it's Spurs Lodge.
I bet he's been doing that on the England games, though. He's been getting it in there to ketchup.
He's probably got pockets loaded of sachets.
Well, from the travel lodge.
Every goal you score, I'll send you 10 sachets of HP sauce.
Look, he's got. Obviously, he's 2 years left on his contract in the summer. We've got to sell him then. He's not going to sign a new one.
No, absolutely. 88 people watching. Smash a like. Do give us a like. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Look, wherever you are, John, I will get it over your face. So, there you go. That sounds so wrong.
That's terrible.
It's only because you laughed. Eriksen, back to Ajax. I'm hearing rumours of. I mean, he's a much loved player, isn't he, Dave? Eriksen, you'd just be happy to see him playing football, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just, can he play a game? Does the insurances of any club allow that? I know that there's a player for Ajax, Danny Blind, isn't it? But I don't think he had a heart attack. I mean, he had heart surgery and he had something fitted, and he's playing now. So look, the question for Eriksen is whether he wants to come back and does he want to carry on playing, which I assume he does, but then one eye on the coaching career if he wants to do that or whatever. I think that if the insurances allow it, good luck to him. But I don't want to see him back at Tottenham. I mean, leaving aside what happened to him was awful, and thank God he's fine. He played out the last 12 months, 18 months of his contract. He wasn't that fussed. And the Champions League final was his place in the shop window to show to your Madrids and your Barcelonas who had money at the time, this is what he could do. And he didn't seize the opportunity. Unfortunately, I really like Eriksen, but he's one of those players is if we were playing well, he played well. But if we were playing badly, he never grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and turned it around. So he was not quite top quality. Good player, great player, but not top quality.
Death in the Spoiler makes a good point. Ajax makes sense for Eriksen. Dutch league isn't too demanding. John, good luck.
Yeah, I was literally thinking that he could just stand in the centre circle and spray passes around, just dictate play, couldn't he? He wouldn't have to do his usual 11Ks a game, and it would be less demanding.
Yeah.
What would happen though? For example, say Ajax drew, I don't know, Inter Milan or whatever, an Italian team in Europe, and we wouldn't be allowed to play in the away leg, presumably.
Well, that's a good question. Don't know. I guess so. Weird. Yeah. It depends what the governing body's rules are, I guess, basically.
That's why we needed HG on tonight. He'd know the answer to that.
Well, HG is probably drowning in ketchup or mayo, one or the other. I should have called the title of this one Ketchup or Mayo. Ben Davies got his first goal for Wales this week. Did you see that, Dave?
I saw he got the goal. I didn't actually see the goal. Who was? What mighty powerhouse was it against?
Belarus.
Belarus, who ranked lower than Luxembourg. I know that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. The goal's a goal.
It was a header from about 8 yards, and the keeper came walking out and he just got there before him, and it dropped into an empty net.
Yeah.
Big Ben. Normally he does that at the wrong end of the pitch, but perfectly fine. At least he's building some confidence up. That's good.
He's not on the calendar, by the way.
Who's not? Ben Davies?
No.
Well, quite frankly, he doesn't deserve to be on the calendar. The sooner he goes, he's another one he can get out the door now. Southgate, do you think he's earning his 2-year extension, Dave?
Look, I think Southgate's a bit like Pochettino, really, in the big moments, in the big matches, in the big decisions to be made. He's left wanting. But, the fact is he's the second most successful England manager after Sir Alf.
Yeah.
Final of the Euros, semi-finals of the World Cup. That's better than Bobby Robson, better than Eltel, better than Steve McLaren and his brolly. So, who else are you going to get him? Look, I respect Southgate because he's made the connection between the team and the public again. Like after the South Africa World Cup and John Terry, I was born to do this nonsense, right? He has reconnected the public and the England team. I was serious about that. And I think he's brought a great culture about improved media relations and all that kind of things. He's got the wider picture involved there. But the reality of the situation is that in the big games he's found wanting. But, we've actually got a very good generation of talent here and another generation coming through. So who else would you get instead of Southgate now? Who would you get? I don't think there's anyone out there.
Steve Bruce. I'll go back. David Clark was right. It came off his shoulder, actually. I remember that.
Yeah. A supreme piece of skill from Ben Davies. Supreme. In answer to your question, Dave, I don't know who you get, to be honest. It's
Jose Mourinho. He's good with young talent.
It's been a poison chalice, that job, hasn't it, for many a year. So I guess they're just going to sit tight for the time being until the top coach becomes available. What is this in the run sheet? Bale versus Hazard, Wales versus Belgium. Who is the more hated at Madrid? Is this because Hazard's doing terrible as well?
No, because I had my first Pret a Manger in years at lunchtime today. And whilst I was eating it at work, I was having a look at the back of a newspaper and it said Hazard and Bale, who is the more hated? So I thought I'd chuck it in the run sheet.
And who do you think the more hated is?
Bale. But Hazard's not been popular boy there, because if you remember when they got knocked out by Chelsea, and he was photographed laughing with the Chelsea players.
Yeah, I remember.
He's also not kept himself fit. He's put on a few pounds.
A few.
And, it's very surprising how it's not worked out for him, because he was a top quality player. So would Conte get him back on loan? Who would you rather have back? If someone said, right, you can have Bale or Hazard back on loan, who would you have?
Oof. I'd have Hazard because he's younger.
Didn't he fall out with Conte though?
That's injury prone. I think the fallout with
Costa.
The fallout was with with Costa. I think Hazard just left because that was an agreed thing. I don't think Conte fell out with him as such. And I'm sure Conte could make him great again. I just think it hasn't worked out for him at Madrid for whatever reason.
No, right.
But this is absolutely on the money, 100 million, and he's done absolutely nothing for them really. So yeah. I mean, we can teach any team about flops. I'm sure we can outflop nearly anyone, but I don't think we've ever had 100 million flop. Right, let's talk predictions. Let's look ahead. Conte has said no. It wasn't Conte, Kerry. It was definitely Daniel Levy. Let's talk predictions. Top four race. Come on then, Dave. Who's getting top four this season? We're gonna. You can join along with us in the chat. We're talking top four relegation, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, Europa, and Europa Conference League. Who's winning what? Let's go with the biggest prize, in my eyes, first. Top four in the Premier League.
Okay, well, who's going to win it is going to be Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right, they're going to win it.
I can agree with that.
Second. Yeah, I've heard that.
Second is Manka Andy's favourite team.
City.
Yeah. Third, I think defensively they look dodgy. It's the Scousers dressed in red.
Yeah.
Now, fourth, if we buy a striker and a midfielder in January, we got a shout. If not, you ready?
Go on.
They don't have European football. They've got a little bit of momentum. It's the Gooners.
Oh my God. How can you possibly say that, Dave?
I just did. They got no European football.
They're shit. They've not played anyone decent in ages.
Yeah, but they got their confidence going. I said in the summer we will finish below the Gooners.
This is
And
about
I was
fitting
shouted
your narrative
down
again, isn't it? Yeah, well,
What narrative?
quite
Hang on, what
rightly,
narrative?
because it's
What
not going to
narrative?
happen. It's not going to happen. If Shan was here, I tell you what, she'd have a bar of soap ready for you right now. It is not going to happen. We are not. Yeah, Mark says you are not well. I agree.
I'm
Genuinely, Dave, they're terrible. They might have got a few results against some poor teams. That does not. They've struggled to beat Norwich.
But that was a start. No, that was no. That was the start of it. That was the start of it, right? That was the start of it. They've got momentum going.
They struggled to beat Watford last weekend, though.
Exactly.
Listen, do I want the Gooners to finish above us for the first time in years? Of course not. I hate the Gooners.
You just tipped them to.
Well, I'm saying it how it is. This is a conversational show where all people from all walks of life with all opinions, and I'm giving my opinion. You disgust me. I just got sick in my mouth. You deserve to be shouted down. Momentum is a big thing. I understand all of these things. It's just my humble opinion. I said that we should have got Martin O'Neill as manager in 2005.
What's that got to do with anything?
I actually said we should sign Joey Barton back in the day and get some bite in the midfield. These are examples where I've got things wrong, and I'm humble enough to admit it. I thought that if you won the League Cup, you got Europa this season, but I was wrong and HG was right. These are examples where go back to Australia. Is that my mum again? Is that my brother? I'm just saying. That's what I think it is. They've got no European football. None.
All right. Well,
I'm sorry, cheeseheads. I'm sorry. I want to be wrong.
Their last three games, I mean, they beat Watford, who had a man sent off 1-0. They beat a poor Leicester 2-0. Admittedly, that's a good result. They beat Villa, who no one's really, they've just sacked their manager. They've been on a terrible run of form. And then they drew with Palace and Brighton. I mean, it's hardly the run of world beaters, is it? When you say a little bit of momentum, we are talking a little bit of momentum. And we've just signed Conte! Conte! For God's sake, what's wrong with you? They've got Mikel Arteta.
What did I say? What did I say? I said if we get a striker and a midfield player, I can live with that defence for the rest of the season. We got a chance to top. I said top four. We get a striker, and we get a midfield player. All right. We are so thin up top, right? So we need a striker. Sorry, everyone. Deport him back to Australia. Well, I've got a British passport and I've got an Australian passport. So does deportation work then? Don't know.
Are you actually an Australian national as well, are you?
I'm an Australian citizen and I'm obviously got a British passport. What does it explain?
The belligerence.
Belligerence? I've been belligerent since I was a young child, as my family gathering yesterday would have confirmed.
They can't wait to deport you either, to be honest.
They haven't seen me in over 2.5 years.
John,
I think they're happy to see me.
I've had enough of him. I'm going to hit mute on him in a minute. John, tell me now your top four, and tell me it's different to that plank.
Yeah, I'm not putting Arsenal in there. I'm just looking at the league now. Oh, if United were to get rid of Solskjaer, I'd say United, but we're sort of hearing vibes they're not going to. So I'm going to say we're going to sign a striker and we're going to do it.
Thank you, John. That was the correct answer all along. Of course we're doing it. Believe, you mark my words, Conte's got this ball rolling and we are going to do it.
He said the same thing as me.
Where we belong. What, Dave?
He said sign a striker.
He didn't mention Arsenal. He didn't have to mention Arsenal in it, did he? Let me tell you something. If Kane starts scoring goals, that will be as good as signing a striker. We're going to do it.
But he'll get injured.
Conte's at the wheel.
The only other thing I would say is West Ham have coped very well with the group stages of the Europa League so far. They have lost a couple of games, but they're still in third.
I can't really contemplate West Ham being in the Champions League. Can you imagine it? Rocking in their caravan up to Barcelona or something. It's just be.
The way that Barcelona are going with their finances, they'll all be in caravans as well at this rate.
Where's HG?
Give me I haven't put.
He'd be going psycho at you right now.
I haven't put West Ham in the top 4 because I don't think their squad will deal with Europa, going deep into Europa.
Yeah.
And
Mark's saying there West Ham will fall away. I mean, inclined to agree. And this
Do
is
you think they might sign someone though in January with their new investment owner?
Maybe.
Dele Alli.
David Moyes isn't that stupid.
Lingard.
Yeah,
They could come back in for Lingard.
Okay, well, I'm gonna agree with the first 3 and say Tottenham are getting 4th.
Yeah, because you would.
Much. The Conte bonus package that Levy's agreed is reliant on him getting top 4. So I'm telling you now, there's going to be a way he's going to get there, 100%. Right, that's that dealt with. Relegation. Who's going down then, Dave?
Okay, ready?
Bourne.
If we don't buy a striker, no, I'm only joking. Norwich. I don't think Dean Smith's going to make the difference. I think they've got Dean Smith in to get him back up again next season.
Agreed.
I think Norwich really missed Skip.
Yeah, damn Farker.
Really missed Skip, right?
Should have so kept Farker.
What was that accent?
I don't know. What is that?
Farker.
Was that David Bowie in The Illusionist or something? That was
a lovely little German man.
I don't see Ranieri lasting the season, so Watford are going down. And the final one, because I would just love it, is the Geordies. Little Lantern Deck crying their little eyes out on Saturday night takeaway.
I would love it if Newcastle went down.
Little Lantern Deck crying their little eyes out in front of old Skeletor from She-Ra. That's it.
Yeah.
Is it Skeletor or She-Ra? One of the other. Yeah, all those Geordies conveniently forgetting about human rights abuses as they go down, looking up QPR away next season. It would be a beautiful moment.
Shan's mirroring you, really. Although Watford, I mean, if you got to watch Watford, if they escape relegation this season, they could win the league next. Ranieri's got form for it.
Yeah. No, that was Nigel Pearson.
Yeah, but the year before, but then they won the league under Ranieri the next season.
No, but they escaped it through Nigel Pearson.
And then he got sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of his son. But
but then Ranieri took them and won the league.
John, don't try reasoning with stupid. I've tried before.
No, but this is the reverse, though, if you think. But it would have been the reverse, but it hasn't worked out because they sacked him one before last.
Never has my finger been closer to the mute button, David.
What? I'm jet lagged, all right? I'm just providing.
It's like on life.
Are you drinking, Dave?
No, I'm not. I've just had a Coca-Cola, a bit more caffeine to keep me going.
And FA Cup. Come on, Gov's in the chat. He's got an opinion.
What's wrong?
Mr. Gov, Norwich, Leeds, and Burnley relegated.
I think there's two. I thought about that, but there's too many existing teams. I haven't got statistical facts to back this up. I'm not HG, and I apologise for that. But it never feels like more than one existing team goes down. Someone's straight away going to go and contradict me. Something happened last year or 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just a feeling I have. It's an instinct. So I don't think Leeds will go down. Burnley, nah.
Hanging on in there, Burnley. Right, let's talk FA Cup. Gov's straight in there with FA Cup. Tottenham win, of course. Kerry says you look drunk. Yeah. FA Cup, incredibly hard trophy to win is what I'd say with this one. All the big teams want to win it. There's no weakened teams, really, past the quarterfinals. What we saying, Dave?
I think Mankandi is going to be dancing down Wembley Way in May. And he's going to be, who's the captain of them now? I forget, as he lifts the FA Cup. Mankandi. City.
I don't know.
City. Paul Power, Jerry Gow,
someone I don't know.
Joe Corrigan. Anyway, City to win it for me.
John,
I can't really argue with that. It's down to the draw, but yeah, City were my favourites if they're not going to win the league.
Who won the FA Cup last season?
Leicester
beat Chelsea, didn't they?
I'm going to say we're not going to win it because the year doesn't end in one. Man United are going to win the league.
Under
the
who
FA
is
Cup.
manager?
No, it's going to save Ollie's job because they're going to finish outside the top 4. But at least they'll get Europe next season.
Are you saying that it's like Fergie in 1990 against Palace that saved him his job?
A very poor man's Fergie. That's what I'm saying.
That's the Solskjaer legacy is built from there, yeah?
With a Norwegian Manc accent.
Yeah.
There's an agenda here. I'm wishing it to be true because the longer Ollie stays in a job, the better for me.
Are you suiting your narrative, caller?
It is suiting my narrative. You do love that one. Right, let's go the League Cup or the Carabao Cup or the cup that what did I say the other day in Snapchat? Not even Carabao care about the Carabao Cup. The one that no one really wins except City. John, view on this?
Look,
you said City for the.
I'm just looking. Liverpool, Leicester. Okay, draw. Let's have a look.
Are you looking at who's left?
Yeah.
So come on then. Let's work it out. Well, I can't see that.
Okay. We got West Ham, Arsenal, Sunderland, Brentford, Chelsea, Liverpool, Leicester. Ooh. Liverpool. If they beat Leicester, which they should do because Leicester aren't playing well.
There's a theme developing here.
Do you know what? He's probably right because it'd be our luck. We'd win it the season. There's no Europe in it.
Well, there is Europe. There's
hang on.
The Europa Conference.
I think.
No, there isn't, is there?
There is,
yes, Europa. It's Europa Conference.
Europa Conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my prediction as to who's going to win it. Oh, hang on. This side. Kiss the badge. It's us. We're going to win it. Conte is going to be like our George Graham. Comes in October, November.
The cup I don't care about.
Wins us the League Cup. We're going to go down. It's in February as well. So the balance of probabilities, Kane may not be injured by then and may have a run of fitness into February, right?
Yeah, true.
I don't think Daniel would sack Conte 6 days before the League Cup final. I just have this feeling. I might be wrong.
He doesn't generally do 2 a season, does he? So
no, he doesn't. It's like
he's never done that.
He only offs one. So yeah. I think that when is it? When's the final? February.
Yeah.
Is it February?
End of Feb.
Guess who is the calendar? It's Hugo Lloris lifting the Carabao Cup in February.
Go. The calendar knows all.
This calendar says it all. That's our source. So Tottenham will win the Carabao Cup.
Okay. Let's talk Champions League then. Who is winning the grandest prize of them all? The Champions League. John, you first, mate.
Bayern.
I'm going to back my man Poch.
Oh, yeah.
Purely on the basis that anyone who doesn't win something, the greatest trophy of them all, with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe up front, needs the sack.
You've probably hexed him, haven't you?
PSG.
Okay.
PSG. And I'll buy a PSG shirt if that's the case. I'll be a Poch fanboy again. Dave?
I think it's the modest, self-effacing Liverpool that will win the Champions League. Their defence, as I said, is a bit dodgy this season, but I think it's enough to get them to the final. Madrid are in a world of pain. Barcelona are skint. Poch will play Messi as a right wing-back and Victor Moses as a left wing-back in the January transfer signing, and will be on his haunches on the side when he's one goal down with 2 minutes to go and he doesn't know what to do. So I think the Scousers are going to win it, and we're not going to hear much about it from their fans after the final.
Okay. Well, there's some, interesting chat worked previously well when we won the League Cup with a foreign manager who also banned condiments.
John, did you say who was going to win the Champions League, or was my?
I said Bayern.
Yeah, we wanted to mention that's jet lag. I'm telling you, I've been up since 2:30.
Gov's saying we're going to do a Europa Conference League and FA Cup treble, £300 charity bet. I think, Gov, your 300 is safe that time, but we'll see. Scousers will win it. Poor Poch bitch boy. That's a bit hard.
That's a bit rude, isn't it? What's the matter there, Sam?
Come on. Sam, what's wrong, Sam? Who took the jam out of your donut? A couple of votes for Bayern. PSG will win the UCL. If Kane goes to City, then City could win it. Well, Kane's not going to City, I'm afraid. So that's
not in January anyway.
Nick Grimes. Hello, Nick Grimes. How are you? Hope you're well. I know Nick Grimes. Nick Grimes, my mate. He's another Harlow boy.
Well, he knows he hasn't flown back. You haven't flown back yet. So what's he on about?
No, I'm not in a cabin. This picture is real.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to comment on this picture, go for it.
Can't really see it, to be honest.
Can't you? Oh, because the thing's in the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like, to be honest, it's a little bit like when I put.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Go on. What were you going to
say? Everyone loves it. Do click the subscribe button. It's coming again, John. There you go, straight in your face.
Can his eyebrows go above the banner?
Can your eyebrows go above it? Oh
yeah. Look at those eyebrows. They are.
Someone click that, please.
I've never seen eyebrows.
Please do hit the like button and subscribe. Kane won't go. Kane doesn't turn up in finals. So yes, very true. Right. Europa League. Let's talk. Who's going to win the Europa League this season, gents? John?
I don't even know who's in it.
I kind of think who's in it.
I know West Ham are in it and Leicester are in it. I'm not sure who else.
Neither of them.
I'm going to say West Ham just because I don't know who's in it.
Don't, John. Right, so I've had him predicting Arsenal in the top floor. You're predicting the Pikeys are going to win the flipping Europa League.
Now, hang on a minute. Fair's fair. I want, all the comments are going to come piling in on John now because he said that West Ham are going to win Europa. What's good for one is good for the other.
To be fair, Shan, yeah, Sevilla. If I'd realised, Sevilla win the Europa League.
Sevilla always win.
There's only two teams that win the Europa. You've got one of them, Sevilla, and the other one's Villarreal. It's the only two that ever win it.
They've only won it once. How many times have Villarreal won it?
It feels like they're born.
I'm just looking at the other, the teams. Obviously, this team's going to drop from the Champions League into it as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, there is that,
isn't it? So, Lyon and Sparta Prague are top of their group. Monaco, Real Sociedad, Napoli. See, that's a good shout.
Yeah, Lyon are a good team. Although, Eintracht Frankfurt. Wow.
Eintracht Frankfurt. Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Leverkusen could be dangerous.
Galatasaray.
What about Dortmund? I always pick when I play FIFA against my son Jack. I like to be Dortmund. How are they doing?
Well, they're not in it. They're in the Champions League, aren't they?
Yeah, but they say they drop out.
Oh, are they going to drop out?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Have a look now for you.
Oh, I tell you who's third in Group B at the moment is Atletico Madrid.
Leipzig look like they're going to drop out.
But they're fourth at the moment, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, of course they are, yeah. Bruges.
But Nagelsmann's left then, so it doesn't matter.
Well, Atletico, Porto or Milan are going to drop down, aren't they? So
yeah, so anyway, it's either Sevilla or Villarreal.
I'm going Atletico now then, if they get in it.
Not West Ham.
Well, now I know the potential teams now.
You're just worried about the reaction. You started getting the bits of reaction. Now you've changed your mind.
Napoli.
You got to stand by what you're saying, John.
Yeah, but I hadn't researched it, so.
I'm saying Napoli because Villarreal are probably going to qualify for the next round of the Champions League.
Okay.
So it ain't going to be them. And who else was it? You said Sevilla.
Yeah, or Villarreal.
Where is Sevilla? Sevilla might not even qualify for it because they're bottom of the group. So
they are bottom. Yeah.
And where's Villarreal?
They're top. Well, they're joint top with Man United, aren't they? So second on goal difference.
All right.
That group can go anyway, though. Man United and Atalanta.
Yeah. Gov raises a good point, and we're coming to the Europa Conference in a sec. Third place in the Europa League, drop into the Europa Conference League too. Oh, it just gets so complicated. So should we see which big boys that puts in contention for our Euro? Because I'm presuming you're all saying we're going to win the Conference League, right?
No, I'm not.
Go on then, Dave. The voice of doom.
I think Rennes will win it.
Really?
Yeah, Rennes will win it.
What on the basis of?
On the basis of, as I was eating my pret a manger sandwich at lunchtime today, and I thought to myself, I'm not gonna say Roma, Shannon. I thought to myself, well, I think Jose will combust by the time the final comes around. and we will somehow. I still haven't got over.
You probably get
Zagreb.
sacked 6 days before it.
Yeah, he probably will. So I think, and given my extensive research into the European Conference League that I've done, I thought Ren looked apparent on Instagram when they played us. Ren looked a bit all right. So I've gone with Ren because you could also argue the fact that presumably if we're in the same group as Ren, it could be a Ren Tottenham final, and Ren beat us.
I think Ren are a good side. Genuinely do. I think that's why of all those games in our group, I chose that one to go to. So I'll be there for that one. Executive box style, actually. Just to keep up my tradition of not sitting in my season ticket seat this season.
Mark Swift's comment. We should bring that up.
Southend will win it.
Yeah. Have they not gone bankrupt?
I don't know. Right. Let me give you some permutations.
I didn't answer the Conference League. I think Jose's going to be gone by March, so Roma will then go and win it if they're still in it.
Okay. Let me tell you who.
Hang on a second, sorry, John, because you said he'll be gone by March. So the player in March is Eric Dyer, right? So when Mourinho buys him in January, and everyone realises he's shit, but because Dyer speaks Portuguese, that's why you let him in. That's the last straw. So the calendar again never lies.
Yeah.
Sam's at the main game too.
Oh, is he frozen?
Have you frozen?
He has frozen, yeah. Oh.
He has frozen.
He has.
So
well, Dave,
you go on.
Go on. I was going to say, I've got no sight of the run sheet, so you'll have to keep going with the predictions.
I think to be honest with you, that we might have been at the end. It was the European Conference League. That was
okay. So we've done.
I haven't done like who's going to get promoted to the Premier League. I haven't done who's going to get Europa places via the league. Or
okay, who's going to be the Premier League top scorer?
Well, who's the top scorer at the moment?
I will tell you.
It's not Kane.
Is it? He's got a power cut. He's just messaged.
Is he?
Okay. Yeah. Right. Premier League. Hold on. Standings. Top scorer is Mohamed Salah with 10. Then Vardy has got 7.
Okay.
Then Antonio. So it's probably Salah, isn't it?
No. Because Salah's got to go off to the African Cup of Nations.
But that's when there's FA Cup, so he only misses a couple of games, doesn't he?
Yeah, if they go deep into the tournament,
okay,
he could be out for a bit, right?
Right.
You got Jamie Vardy is going to get as the Rebecca Vardy, Colleen Rooney case finished. I don't know.
No idea.
That could have an impact on the whole thing, right?
Shan, where are you? We need you for this advice. It's Rebecca Vardy finished with Colleen Rooney.
No, HG would know about this. He's read the court affidavit. Yeah, he's done an exclusive research into the court affidavits, and he's going to be doing a special on it next week. Nice. So Vardy will get injured. Who else is up there? City don't have a striker.
Kerry King is saying Kane. Unfortunately, we can't put the comments on the screen. Dave and I don't have that power, so we can just read them out.
We don't have that power. We also don't have that technological savvy to know how to do it, to be honest with you. So I think who's going to finish the top goal scorer is going to be, I think Lukaku will make a late run.
Yeah, he's injured at the moment, isn't he? Depends when he comes back.
Yeah.
You're not saying Werner then?
Who? Timo Werner? No.
No, I fancy Salah still, even with the African Nations Cup.
All right.
African Cup of Nations.
All right.
Paul Muir, it's Rebecca Vardy. Right. What else can we have? Most assists. I have no idea who that is at the moment. It was Kane last year, obviously.
Do you know? I mean, I always call him Terence Trent D'Arby for some reason, but Trent Alexander-Arnold. How many assists has he got so far?
Oh, I don't know. I tell you, Salah's got 7. According to this, Salah has got 7.
You're besotted with Salah.
I'm not. He's just top of this list. He's got goals and assists on it.
I think the African Cup of Nations will do for him.
Well, hopefully.
That's what I think.
He is keeping my fancy team doing all right, though.
Did you talk about on Friday who's the next manager to get the flick?
I can't remember. It was a few days ago. It was my birthday. I was drinking.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think Ranieri will go again.
Do you think? Yeah, I think there's Watford, isn't it? It's got to be up there. Oh, there he is.
Hello.